Hi everybody, I'm Desiree.
And I'm Steve.
And we're with my blog, The Almost Daily Des, and welcome to our second video. So this is what we're packing for Walt Disney World Part 2. So the first thing that we're going to start with is what we put in our personal bag. So that's what you keep with you. Most females just bring like a regular purse, but you can bring something bigger than that. So we're not talking about a paid carry-on that you're sticking in that overhead compartment. This is a bag that you're putting in front of you under the seat. So it has to fit in that space, and you should definitely look up your airline's dimensions for that, just to make sure that you're safe. So I actually got a new one. It looks really big, but I had one very similar to this before, and I know I can kind of scrunch it and shove it under the seat. I was bringing a book bag, and it just wasn't working for me, but you bring a book bag.
It works for me with a book bag because I have a lot of little stuff that I can put in my little pockets.
So this is the thing too, like I feel like women's book bags are not the same as guys.
No.
So for a girl, when you buy one, it just ends up being a mess because it's pretty much one solid hole and everything is jumbled in there. You can't even find anything. So I actually got this one from Target. It was $34.99, but it has like a pocket here, and then I like something that zips like this, not like a button, just because I don't want anything to fall out. And it has like some pockets that you can put like cell phones. It has an extra zippered compartment, and it came with this extra strap that you can actually make it like a crossbody. So I try to fit as much as I can in here. Very quickly about your personal bag too. So we mentioned Magical Express very briefly in the previous video, but what that is, it's a complimentary bus service that shuttles you to and from your Disney hotel, your resort, and the airport. So it takes you back and forth, but you get these special luggage tags to put on any bag that you're actually checking, like at the front desk at the airport. And what happens is when you land, you don't have to go to baggage claim. You can just go straight downstairs to the Magical Express area and get on your bus. Cast members that work for Disney are going to go to baggage claim and grab your checked bags for you. So the thing with that is, it will just appear magically in your room sometime that day. Now, sometimes we've gotten our room and it's been in there when our room's ready. Other times, it might be a couple hours later. We've never had to wait that long, but my point is, anything that you need that day, I suggest putting in your personal bag that's with you. So when we go over what we put in ours, some of that is going to be because we will need it maybe for that day. So if you're planning on getting off the airplane and going straight to a park, anything that you might need for the park, you're going to want to put in there. We kind of just hang out at the resort and we do like the pool, and then we go to Disney Springs. So just anything that I know that I need that day, I make sure it's with me, just in case for some reason my bag doesn't magically appear until 8 o'clock at night. I don't want to be waiting on it. It's never happened, but just in case. So things that I put in my personal bag. Yes, I am a person who wears a fanny pack. In Disney, he thinks it's ridiculous.
They are very convenient.
It's so convenient.
So you don't have to hold something and carry something like
yes.
a purse or
and
a
like
bracelet.
I feel like when it's close to you like this, like it's just, you don't even realize it's there. So this one's just a really basic one. It's a travel-on fanny pack. You can get them for like $15 online. It has like a front pocket and of course like a zipper compartment. I like this spot to actually put my money because that's like on your body. So like you would realize if someone's stealing from you, and no one's ever tried to steal from me in Disney, but it is nice to have your money just kind of right there. So I put, my ID in here, chapstick, phone, anything that like I know that I'm gonna need that day. So I do a fanny pack, and I am not ashamed of my fanny pack. I also choose to put some of my makeup and hair stuff in there, solely because we go to Disney Springs for the evening on our first night, and I usually try to look a little bit cute that day because it's not a park day for us. So I put some of that stuff in there, and also some of that stuff can tend to be a little bit heavy, so as long as you don't have any liquids that are over 3 ounces, you can put them in your personal bag. And the other reason I'm saying this is because the last time we went in April, and I decided to throw my makeup bag in my check bag, and my pretty expensive eyeshadow palette, one of like the eyeshadows, like the pressed powder, I went to open it and it was all broken because, they're just like chunking your luggage on and off and stuff. So, that was the one and only time I put my makeup bag in my check bag. I was just trying to distribute stuff, and I won't do that now. I'll keep it with me, and that way I can refresh when we get there or whatever. So, speaking of that, it made me realize I don't want to bring like my most expensive like makeup items, like just in case. So this time I actually grabbed this little cheap Maybelline eyeshadow tiny palette. It comes with like 4 colors. So I just picked 4 colors that I know that I'll wear. And that way, like, if something does happen to this, I'm not going to be upset. And I also am saving myself a little bit of space by not packing like a big eyeshadow palette. And I keep my stuff very simple. Like, I mean, you're running around a park, so, and everybody's makeup preference, I feel like, is different. Some people don't really wear much of any, and some people are like full face all the time. I go with a basic like BB cream. I pack like a brush, blush, my brushes, a decent mascara, and some like sort of like lip gloss, usually nothing too drying, and I do chapstick a lot too. So I keep my makeup routine pretty simple, but I am a person who, like, I am gonna put something on my face before I walk out the door. I just don't go out without makeup on. That's just me personally. And hair stuff, of course, is your preference. Everyone's hair is different. Your hair needs might be different, but you know, anything that you might need. Florida tends to be a little bit more humid, and you might have like more of a crazy hair day. Make sure you have like extra hair ties and that type of stuff. I mean, we both have hair, so we always have extra hair ties. So basic hair and makeup I put in my personal bag so that I have it with me that day. And then because our flight this time is really early, we're taking off at 6 a.m. So by the time we get there, it's still going to be early. I mean, we're going to land at like 8 something. And by the time we get Magic Express and get to the resort, I mean, it'll be well before 10 o'clock, probably even 9.
Chances are our room will not be ready until well after 12 o'clock. Because you have to give time for people to check out.
You do.
But it's not also true.
Yeah, because last time, the second we landed, it was 10 something.
It just
and as
depends
soon
on
as I
if someone's
turned
staying
my
in your
phone
room.
on, I got the text message that our room was ready. So, like he said, it just depends. So because we just hang out at our resort, I pack a bathing suit in our personal bags, because if I pack them in my check bag, I'm not going to have them possibly when we land. So I put a bathing suit in there, and I also packed a change of clothes, but maybe even more than just one change of clothes, because what if my luggage gets lost? If you're a person who has ever had your luggage lost, which it's happened to me more than once, you learn to think okay, what do I need to put in here in case my luggage doesn't come? And the last thing you want is to land and you don't have underwear, a change of clothes. I mean, things that it's okay, I don't feel like wearing this for the next 2 days. So I pack a change of clothes, if not more than that, and especially for the little ones, you might want to, there are 2 changes of clothes in there, you just never know. So a bathing suit, a change of clothes, and if you're going into a park, when we leave, it's going to be March, so it's going to be chilly here in New Jersey, but it will probably be a little bit warmer in Florida when we get there, so we're probably going to be dressed a little bit heavier on the plane, but then what if it's 80 degrees when we land? So you might want to, if you're going to a park, make sure you have a lighter change of clothes to throw on before you head out. And then, of course, electronic things that...
Tablet for your kids,
yeah, phone charger,
cameras,
if you're bringing your camera.
all that kind of stuff.
All those electronic type things that you might need. And then the other thing is a travel sunscreen. So we put our main sunscreen because it's a bigger bottle in our checked bag, but if you're going to the pool or you're going to a park, you don't want to get there and not have anything. So this is we like this. It's a stick actually, so you don't have to worry about it being a certain ounce or anything because it's not a liquid, but it's copper tone, so you can just rub it all over your kid or whatever for the pool or for the park. So these are good to throw in that personal bag. And then anything that you think your kids are going to need, and I'm going to say it like I've been saying, everyone's needs with things are different. So if your kid needs a certain medication or if they're a little bit under the weather, you want to make sure that you have whatever you need with you. And then also things that they can't live without, our daughter has Lammy. And I don't let Lammy come to the park. So Lammy stays in the room. But Lammy's going to have to be with us. Like he said, a tablet. Good things are coloring books for on the plane. If they, they're going to want a snack or something and you don't want to grab something at the airport. As long as you, food-wise, as long as it's in an original package and it's sealed, you can bring it through security. we always grab like a water bottle and stuff once we get through and have something like that, but they have drinks on the plane too. But it just, if you know your kids like certain things, just pack some plane snacks, and then things like a blanket. We'll pack like a fuzzy blanket because she did fall asleep on the plane last time on the way there. It just makes them.
Hopefully she falls asleep this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to be at the airport around 4 a.m. So I'm sure
She'll probably be asleep before we even get on the plane.
And that isn't counting like we have to wake up and get ourselves together, and we're driving to my mom's. We're all driving in one car, so it's gonna be early. She should fall asleep on the plane, but you know, a little blankie, and if you wear a sweatshirt or something, you can always ball it up as like a pillow for them to lay on too. And then another really important thing is if you're staying on property, and even if you're not, you can get you can order magic bands, but if you're staying on property, you get them complimentary, and they look like this. If you've never been to Disney, you've never seen them, they go on just like a watch, and they're waterproof. This is actually your park tickets, your room key. If you have a dining plan, your dining plan is on here. You can link your credit card to this and use it to pay. So like this is everything, but you also need this for Magical Express. So even though that is a complimentary service, you still have to reserve it. So you still have to call Magical Express, reserve your spot, and give them your flight information so they know where you should be and around what time your bus would be there, and putting you with people that are at your same resort and close by. So your Magical Express reservation is also on here. So you have to have these with you. And I suggest like once you get to the airport, you know, you'll get off your plane, you might have to hit the bathroom or whatever, and then you have to go downstairs. So once you're like going downstairs to that area, I would say have these out and accessible. And do you remember, did they scan everyone's, or is it one person from each party?
I think they scan everyone's, but it's so much easier to get these magic bands because when we get down there, you always see these people shuffling through these papers.
Because they don't know where they put them, and you know, if they have, like you said, if it's like a reservation.
Yeah, if you don't have the magic band, you have to have the printed papers with your reservation.
Yeah.
It's a pain. But
so
these are easy to hold on to.
You get these if you're staying on property at a Disney resort, but if you're staying off property, you can still order them, but I just think that you have to pay for them.
Probably worth it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but you just want to have them out. Like this goes in my fanny pack because the second we land, I put my fanny pack on, and it is right there. And we actually just start wearing them because then you're getting into your room and your trip is really starting. So it's like once that plane lands, we put these on, and they're kind of on the whole time, except for like when we shower. But you can take them in the pool and everything. So these you just want to make sure you have out and ready when you get to Magical Express area. And I think that that's really it from me. Alright, so that's it for what we put in our personal bags, and now we're going to move on, and we're going to start with some tips that we have for traveling with kids, and then after that we'll have some other tips as well. So we traveled with Lou a couple times now, starting to get the hang of this, but this first tip I'm not taking credit for. It is not my idea. I actually got this idea from a bunch of other blogs, which I couldn't even tell you what they were at this point because it was a while ago. But we do some sit-down table service reservations when we go to Disney, and sometimes your little ones can get a little bit restless because it's kind of boring for them, especially if they don't like really eat that much.
Yeah.
Like
it's not a quick meal. You're gonna spend about an hour.
Yeah, and if it's
or
a character
more.
meal, it could be more than that. But then remember when we went, T-Rex took forever. It was like 2 hours.
Well, it was packed.
And Lou was miserable. So I found a tip because we've always packed like her tablet and stuff like that, but this tip was to get like little toys, like something stupid and little that is a couple dollars, and get one for each sit-down reservation, because a brand new toy each time will entertain them for quite some time, as opposed to we hope this is the first time we're trying it, so we will let you know, instead of like you bring the same things every night and they're bored with it on night 2. So we went to Walmart and we grabbed, I mean we have 5 because we had 5 reservations, but just some little toys like this. This is like a bell, and this is some sort of Vampirina characters in here. We have other ones, but something little like this, we're hoping will be like, oh my god, it's brand new. This is
and these
fun.
were under $5 each.
Yeah,
Some
most
of them were like $1,
like $2, $3. So that's, we're gonna try this, like a brand new toy for each sit-down restaurant, so that hopefully this entertains her for the majority of the meal. But let's say she gets this, oh my god, wow, thank you, and then 10 minutes later she's kind of like, all right, well, enough of that, like, I'm bored. She likes those markers that color only on those pages, They don't color everywhere, they're like clear. So we actually found this Crayola, they're called Color Wonder, the markers, but this is called Stow and Go Studio. So she has some of this stuff already. She has like Dory stamps and some markers, but this comes with more markers, and it comes with a bunch of pages. And then my mom actually found more pages that actually have stuff on them, because these are blank, so she can just draw and stamp all over them. And my mom got her another princess book that are like princesses in there that she can color. So the reason we grabbed this was because I was just thinking, like, I wanted to bring it, but I'm like, what am I going to throw all these markers and stamps in a Ziploc, and where are they going to be in Steve's book bag?
It's gonna be a mess.
It's going to be a mess. So I was like, if I could get everything in here, and then when we sit down, like, take this out, take out, like, even rip a page out of the book, and just take out a couple markers for her and put this back in the bag. I felt like it would, like, she will sit at home and do this for quite a while. So between the toy and then this, and then we will have her tablet on us as well as even more of a backup, we're hoping that our sit-down meals go pretty smoothly. She's a little older now too, which might help, but when they're really young, we took her when she was a year. She was 18 months, so she was like in between. Then last time it was right after she turned 2, and they just get restless. I mean, we like the restaurants because we like to eat, and that's a huge part of our planning. But it can be boring for kids. Like, the character meals are fun, but regular restaurants don't tend to be as fun for them. So anything that you can do to entertain them, I think, do it. And these are like my little tips that I'm giving in. You know, I'll make sure that I update you and let you know how the toys in this went and if it really did work. We're hoping that that'll get us some time while we're sitting down.
Yeah.
What's another tip we have?
Well, another tip, again, for toddlers or small children, if you're potty training or they're newly potty trained.
So Lou's been potty trained for a while now.
Right.
She's good to go.
But going in public can be tough because the toilet seats are big.
They feel like they're falling in.
They feel like they're going to
and
fall in.
For us, it's hard because we have to like completely support them and then wipe them and get them together. It's rough.
So I found this. It comes in a little package, a little carrying case.
They call it a pouch.
It's a fold-out potty seat that fits on any public potty.
So the little heinies won't fall in.
They won't fall in. It has little rubber feet on the bottom and back here, so it
things,
doesn't slide.
These things fold out, so they kind of like won't slide that way either.
So it doesn't slide back and forth.
And this company, whatever it was, I can't read it because it's completely in some sort of Asian, Japanese language. I'm not sure.
They give you a seat cover.
Yeah, they give us a couple, like 5 of these in there. So I'm guessing this goes on the actual toilet so that.
Right, so you're still not touching the toilet seat.
But like, I pack a ton of Clorox wipes, like in the little pouches.
Most public bathrooms also have seat covers.
Yeah, but I mean, even with a seat cover, like I'm gonna be Clorox wiping that thing as soon as we're done, and before it goes back in that pouch. But like, I just buy like the little pouches of Clorox wipes that have the little like pull tab.
Right. And
I mean, I am that mom. Like, he laughed last time because we got in the teacups, and I looked at my Clorox wipes, and I'm like wiping the center. He's like, "Are you really?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And like, that's another tip too. You can't be too clean. Like, we were clean the first time we went, and Lou came home and she had hands, foot, and mouth.
Yep.
Because they're just like,
there's so many kids.
They're holding on
to
everything. And we felt like we were washing our hands. We were doing everything that we could, hand sanitizer. But like, you cannot be too extra, and don't be ashamed to be extra. Like, you know, I think their housekeeping is great, but like, I still run through the room with Clorox, like, and Lysol, everything. Like,
well, it's really the parts that you have to worry about. The handrails that they're touching, and
every
the
like
other
line
kids that
is
they're
like
playing with other
fences,
kids.
and they're holding on to like the ride. I mean, it's just, you can't be too crazy. So yeah, I am that mom that'll like wipe down a teacup or like a lap bar with no shame. Like, I don't care. You can't be too clean.
But anyway, this only cost. It was like about $20 on Amazon. There's so many different brands. You could just search toddler potty seat and you'll be able to find one of these. It's a big help for any kids that are potty training, newly potty trained, that just don't really fit.
Little. Like,
yeah,
if your kid's just small,
don't really fit on
they feel
the
like
potty
they're gonna
seat.
fall in the toilet.
Another tip is, I mean, for me, I am the stroller folder upper person.
So no matter what transportation you take, bus, boat, monorail, your stroller has to be folded up.
Yeah, you can't roll the stroller onto any form of transportation.
So like, I'll take her out and like grab whatever stuff's in the stroller and get her on the bus or the boat, and he folds
So you want to make sure you have a or you want to make sure it's compact. You don't want it to be too heavy. You don't want one of those big joggers. You want something that you can grab with one hand and just pick up and it folds up.
Find something that is easy to fold.
Yes.
Like
umbrella strollers are good, but sometimes they're just not durable enough.
Ours is called, we got like a Cloud Sport.
It's called Cloud Sport. It's made by, I can't remember the name.
Well, if you look up Cloud Sport, you'll be able to find it. We got it at
We
Walmart.
got it at Walmart. It was like $50, and it's so easy.
It has like the umbrella that comes over.
It's got a full cover that
It
covers
lays
the
back.
top. It has recline.
It has cup holders for us. It has a cup holder for her. This is my only complaint about it.
It's like
The
this
cup
big.
holder for her is tiny. It has like a little square cutout so you can fit a juice box in there, but I had to take that piece with me to find a sippy cup to fit. It had to be a very narrow bottom. That was my only complaint, and we like to have like a sippy cup always there for her just with water in it. And I prefer the ones with the straws that flip up and down just so like it's not an exposed mouthpiece just in the air.
Right.
Or like you do stroller parking for rides and kids will just walk by and just like graze everything, and or like a kid could just pick it up and take a drink out of it if it's just open, because kids don't know. They're like, oh, that looks like my sippy cup. Like they don't understand who owns what. So I always like to get sippies that fold down. So finding one that had a fold down straw and
Rite
it
Aid.
fit. It was at Rite Aid and it had superheroes on it. But we believe, and our stroller got broke last time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but the airline kind of busted it on our way down.
Messed up one of the wheels. It was going like this when we got there.
I'm like the whole time,
And
like, is this wheel gonna fall off?
And they tore the grip handle where you push it. It was all, the foam was all torn off.
Yeah, so just hopefully that doesn't happen. We tried to get something a little bit more sturdy
Yeah.
and it could like take a beating.
So, and also tip with that, if you're bringing a stroller and the airline damages it, you're not going to get anything back for it unless you have the original receipt to file a claim.
Which we have.
So we saved that receipt this time
Yeah,
just
because
in case
last time
they
our
mess it
stroller
up.
was kind of old, so I was like, I don't know.
I mean, who
where
really
the
saves the
receipt was.
receipt for a stroller?
Yeah.
But if you're buying one for vacation, save your
Save it,
receipt
just in
in
case.
case so you
Yeah.
can get reimbursed for that if they damage it.
Right.
I mean, if they do any kind of damage, I'm just going to file a claim.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. So, what else? Well, we have like a tablet for her, but
We bring her tablet. One thing with our child, I'm sure it's probably the same for a lot of kids, is in an airport or at dinner, there's so much stuff going on
sensory
all over
overload.
the place. So to help our daughter focus on something, like if she just wants to watch her tablet, we got her a set of headphones.
she focuses a lot better with that.
Well, it blocks out all the other sounds.
Everything. So like, because it's a lot of talking, it's a lot of people, like everybody's everywhere, there's rides, there's music, there's everything going on. So sometimes for a little kid, I feel like it can become a little bit overwhelming, honestly. And also, they won't be annoying anybody else, like on the plane.
Yeah, if you're on the plane,
So
you
she
won't
will
have it.
blast a movie with no shame.
But these were $20 at Target. They fold up, so they're foldable. They cover the full ear, so it blocks out a lot of sound. They're pretty durable. It's made like plastic metal construction. The cord is coated in like it says anti-tangle cord.
We had like the Disney ones for her before that have like a character on, which are like the
They
same
were the
price.
same price, but they were cheap.
They
were
stopped
just
working.
plastic. They just stopped
They
working.
just stopped having sound come out of them
But
after like a couple months. So
these should be good. I mean, they are a good brand. They are JL, made like a children's version of JL audio. So hopefully they'll do well and they'll hold up for more than a year.
So headphones, and then another thing that you can't have too many of are
Ziplocs.
Ziplocs. So like I'll pack some of our things in like the bigger gallon ones just to have, because the bigger Ziplocs are good for like if your last day you're gonna like go in the pool and then you have to like get on a plane. Your bathing suits are gonna be wet, so like it's good to throw those in a Ziploc. But also like these are like they have little frozen designs on them. I don't know if you can see them, but hopefully you can. But they're the snack ones, so they're only like this big. So, you know, you could throw cereal in these, you could throw a Mickey waffle in these, anything that they have that you want to bring into the park, because you can bring food into the park and snacks. Or if they didn't finish something and you want to throw it in here, you can. I just feel like you can't have too many of these at all. Like,
They come in handy.
anything can go in them. So Ziplocs, like I'm bringing this whole entire box of them. And then another thing that's like fun are glow sticks. Kids love them. they're the cheapest things in the world. You can get them at every dollar store, but they're like amazing to a kid. So my mom actually found, and I'm sorry, I don't know where she found them. I should have asked, but they actually look like Mickey ears, and we ordered like bracelets for her. But if you're gonna like go into the park in the evening and you just want to give them something fun and entertaining, you can give them a glow stick, and like while you're sitting there waiting for fireworks or something, it's so entertaining.
Yeah.
And I always like to make sure I have a couple extra on me, because like if we have a family next to us and there's a little kid, I don't mind.
Yeah, usually
offering.
you get like 5 in a pack.
Yeah,
or
so
something
like I'll
that,
ask the
so
parent if like their
you
kid
make a
wants
couple
one,
friends.
and you know the kids are always playing together, so that's another fun thing to do. And you can find wands and tiaras and all sorts of stuff. So it's really cheap, and your kids will think it's like amazing. And they do. Do they sell stuff like that in the park? I mean, if they do, it's gonna be astronomical.
I think they do. They probably sell it where they sell like the bubble wands and the.
Maybe, or
all
like
that
those
stuff.
balloon cards. Like at
Mhm.
night, they probably stuff it lights up. But
Yeah.
of course, in a park, it's gonna be astronomical.
paying
So
$6
they
for
weigh
one.
nothing to throw them in a bag.
Yeah.
It's easy. So I think that that's it for our kids tips.
Mhm.
Traveling with littles, and hopefully some of this can help you. Yeah. So
All right, so moving on to some basic tips, more adult tips, not as much focus on toddlers and kids. To make our trip easier and also packing less, we do an Amazon order. This time we're using Prime Pantry, and we order mainly like snacks, little
Just
things that we want to have in the room.
like water bottles, because
Bottles
they're
of
so
water.
expensive there, and you know you're gonna use them.
Juice or iced tea. If you're somebody that likes that, you can get a couple of those single serve bottles. You get a 6-pack or a 12-pack of.
And we like the assortment of cereal.
Yeah,
Because Lou
the
will
little
always
boxes of
eat
cereal.
cereal for anything, even as a snack in a bag.
Mhm.
So that's always good. And then if you are traveling with littles, I mean, we've packed diapers and wipes
Oh, it's
before.
such a pain.
We had to put them in everyone's luggage, so it would be easier to just ship them. So
Well, we
like,
did that last time. We had a box sent.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was-
you can ship to your resort up to 2 weeks before
Mhm.
your check-in date. Did they charge you a fee when you picked them up?
I don't think
It
so.
used to be complimentary, but then I heard that they charge you like a $5.
If
like,
they did,
holding
they
fee?
charged it to my room, and I didn't even realize
Yeah,
it.
so I can't remember exactly if it's free or not. So I think that's a good thing for those essentials that, you know, we put like wet wands on there this
Mhm.
time, just things you know you're gonna use.
Baby wipes, any like Clorox wipes, anything like that that you don't want to have to pack.
Yeah,
It's
or
gonna
if
save you weight in your luggage, and you don't really need it right away.
Right.
You can bring a couple with you, like a couple diapers on the plane, just to have,
Right.
and then it can be waiting for you at your resort when you get there.
Yeah,
We're gonna order ours 10 days before we leave.
so we know
That way,
that.
it's at the resort. When we land, we can go right to the front desk and pick it up.
I think it's especially good too if you have kids that are picky eaters, or you know that they like certain snacks and certain things. You don't know if you're going to be able to find it in the park. I mean, they do kind of have a good assortment of stuff, but you're going to probably pay like triple the price.
Yeah.
So it is better to pack a couple things in the bag and then that you might need for the plane, and then do that Amazon order.
Right.
Another tip, which I think I'm going to do a vlog about this after we come home and I can get some content, and it's about the dining plan, which I feel like the dining plan is pretty controversial. Like, people either love it or hate it, and we are the people that love it. And one of those reasons is because it's prepaid, so like most of our food we're not paying for, so it's less spending money that we have to bring, and less
It's
just
convenient.
cash that we have to worry about. You just scan your band, and it just makes it easier. So, you know, we like that aspect of it, that we don't have to bring as much spending money, and it's just less to worry about when you're there. So again, I probably will give some more information on that, like March or April, after we get back, about the dining plan. But we do like the dining plan. So speaking of money, another good idea is to do gift cards. So even if, like, you're gonna bring some, even with the dining plan, you're gonna bring spending money for whatever you're gonna buy, toys,
You're
clothes.
gonna need it for tips at the restaurant.
So instead of like, we will bring some cash for tips because it's easier, and for the mousekeeping, which is housekeeping, but they're called mousekeeping. But your other spending money, and especially if you have kids, do gift cards, because then you can be like, hey, this is your spending money gift card. When it's done, and then you're not messing with like coins and bills, and it is just a little bit easier to just scan these. So that's another tip as far as like money goes. Another thing is, if your kids are going to be meeting characters and stuff, and if you don't already have an autograph book, you can buy these when you get there. But if you have something like this already, make sure you bring it. And the ones that you get there, they have this little spot for a pen, but we actually like to do the clicky Sharpies. They turn out really good.
We get the fine tip Sharpie
The
markers.
fine tip Sharpie, and it's easy for the characters. You're not messing with a cap or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can just pluck them, especially like Mickey, like their hands are pretty big, so it's kind of hard for them. But yeah, all of the signatures turn out really well with that, and it fits right in there. So you can get these in the parks if you don't have something like this already. And then another tip that we enjoy and our daughter enjoys are, there's tons of pressed coins around the parks, and you can buy these there as well. We bought this one last time, and we're gonna bring it again so we can just keep on going. And we have one merry-go-round token for Disney Springs in here because I knew we'd need it eventually. But you have a tip for this to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where we saw this or if we just figured this out on our own. But if you have like an old pill bottle, the little orange pill bottle,
M&Ms.
or the M&M mini containers, you can actually keep all your coins that you want to get to use in there. So it's 50 cents plus the penny for most press penny machines. So we stack 2 pennies, or 2 quarters, and then a penny, and then 2 quarters and a penny. So you have everything right there, and you don't have a big bag of change or struggling to get change to get a penny.
But these are really fun, and the kids really like them. And last time we did one, I think it's right here, there's 8 of them. We paid like, I don't know, $5. But we got we got 8. It was Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and then like this one was from the Polynesian, and it was actually a pressed quarter. And these books that you can get, like these are all pennies, but then there's bigger slots for some of those random quarter ones that you can find. But you can literally find these everywhere around the parks. You just have to look, and if you Google it, you can find maps that tells you where they are. But it's just a little something extra that your kids can do, and they really enjoy it. And then it's collectible, and you can look on Pinterest on like what you can do with your pressed pennies to like turn them into like shadow boxes and all sorts of things. So if you don't want to keep them in here forever, or you want to empty them and start over, there are cute things that you can do. So I think that's really it for just like our adult tips.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some more after this trip. We'll probably learn some new things, and we'll be sure to share them with you.
Right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed what we are packing for Disney World Part 2. If you haven't checked out Part 1, make sure you check it out. That was all about what we were putting in our actual luggage, our check bag, and we showed a lot of the clothes that we were bringing and why we were bringing what we were bringing. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sure I'll have some fun Disney content for you after we return from our trip. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. You can email me. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at the Almost Daily Des. But I know a lot about Disney. It's a hobby of mine to do a lot of research. So any questions that you have, I could probably help you with and answer those for you. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Desiree.
And I'm Steve.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.